You may already know this that ThriveCart Pro Plus came out with new features, including the new QR code where you can now take payments directly from just people scanning the QR code. But that is the new feature that I want to share with you today. Yes, I will show you how to create a QR code that directly ties into your payment page so that you can create a checkout page and have people to scan a QR code and you get paid. And I want to show you a really fancy way where I use ThriveCart to really create a homepage so that you can leverage the QR code even better so that you can have people to see your homepage where you can direct them to your blog, to your podcast, to all the things, even your freebie, so that you don't even need another web page. You just need ThriveCart. And you can boost the power of this new QR code feature with the help of what I'm about to show you. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's start with what I mentioned, which is the QR code. So in order for you to get the QR code, what you're going to need to go to is the products, and then underneath the checkout where it is live, once you have the Pro Plus and once you have this Stripe linked together, you will be able to get the QR code. And then once you click that, you could go ahead and open that in the new image or download that and all that good stuff. So now you have that and you should be able to save that on your phone. And I would personally mark that as a favorite on my phone photo library so that I can easily go to that when I go to networking events and those kinds of stuff. So that's what I would use that for my QR codes that I would use for payments and stuff like that. And now the other thing that I wanted to share with you is the fact that this QR code that I will be using, you can use this so that you can create a web page right off ThriveCart and share this with people that you see in networking events and leverage your newly created homepage through ThriveCart. So let me show you how I made this happen with the power of ThriveCart. So inside your product, what I did was to create a new page and I just titled it home. You can definitely title this however way you want. So from here, what I did was that I created a product and I just had a free gift. Again, like this is so that I can get people into my newsletter, into my email list. And then from here, of course, I didn't add anything else on here, including bump offers. I'm just leaving this very basic for now. You can always add things like this later because now with the ThriveCart Pro Plus, you can definitely add multiple bump offers and all these different things for the sake of this specific thing. I'll show you the fulfillment next here. And the checkout, this is where the beauty of it. So we'll dive into that here in a second. But I do want to jump into behaviors next because on here, what you'll be able to do then is to really leverage ThriveCart with its ability to hook into other apps. So you can now integrate with either Google Sheet if you want to, whenever somebody buys your product, so that you can get their data, their email, their name, and then put it in a different app like Google Sheet. Or you could also do it through a different integration. So if you actually go into settings and go to integrations, you'll see different types of apps, including like email tools. So now when you go on here, you could like really easily integrate those things. So anytime someone buys a product, you don't even need Zapier. You should be able to do this for a lot of different tools for your emails. It's the same for if someone tries to buy it, but they didn't actually go through it, or if it's declined for their payment, let's say, you can now trigger different rules. And maybe you want to send them an email that says, hey, you forgot something in your cart. And even though ThriveCart does not have an email membership, email marketing tool, you can now integrate that easily so you can communicate with them that way. So that's just a real quick thing I wanted to mention about behavior, but let's go ahead with the fun part that I want to tell you, which is the checkout customizing the launch editor. So this is what it looks like. So just for the sake of showing you the live version of this, when you go into the actual web page, I added an HTML up here, which is really just like a menu bar, right? So this is just a made up menu bar that I created. And so whenever somebody clicks it, it acts like a menu bar. It just jumps down to that section. And then like same with the goodies and stuff like that. When they do click the join the list, it takes them on the bottom where they can purchase, I guess, which is really getting them to sign up for the newsletter because it is a free product. So that is what it looks like. And it also is mobile friendly because it is a little bit responsive. It's not perfect by any means, right? Because again, I'm pushing the limits of ThriveCart here. But as you can see, like on a mobile, it still looks pretty decent. And then, of course, you can make adjustments as well. So this is what it looks like in the back end, how I set it up, right? So I created an HTML with just really just these href. I'm not going to get too technical with you here today, but these are just pretty much links, right? So I'm just having links to these particular sections. So whenever there's a link to this offer, it just jumps right down to that section of the offer. And then what I did was I just created this section right here, and I just created my little header and my subheaders, and then the button to make them jump down to enter their email address. And then I created, of course, all of these things. This is where I added that offers so that it will jump down to this section. And then here is where I added some information in terms of just like, even if they don't want to quote unquote buy the offer, if they just want to book a Calendly, let's say if you have a Calendly, right? So you can have them to book a call with you. If you have a different offer that you want to highlight, you can also add a link to that on here. Or if you want people to apply, let's say you have a Google form, you can also add a link on here. So you have different products. You can showcase that on here. You can introduce your the way that you help your clients. You can introduce something like that. So it really acts as a landing page for your homepage, right? So again, like this is pretty much about me. And then also like if you have a speaking page, you can also create a link for that one. And then this is, again, the section for the goodie section for me. And so if you have, let's say, a Substack or a blog or anything like that, or a YouTube channel even, or a podcast or a Facebook group or a school or anything like that, you could also include the links here. And of course, like just adding something about from your clients, you can also include those here, testimonials, case studies. And this is where I was mentioning that it will jump down here for the product itself. And then you can add a footer and privacy terms on the bottom as well. So those are the things that I added. And again, like when they grab the product. So let's go ahead and exit this. I'm going to exit without saving. So when they grab the product, what will happen is that they will then, once they purchase, you can either display their total or send them to a different URL, which at that point you could either create a different website like this with your tripwire offer or something like that, right? So for now, I'm just sending them the total, but you could definitely, once they grab your freebie, just send them to a different URL, which will be your tripwire offer. That's how I would probably do it for the way that I would do it. This is just me playing around with it right now. But I wanted to show you that you could now create a landing page with ThriveCart with the way that I'm doing it. And also then you can leverage QR codes so you can share it with other people as you network and expand a little bit more, and everything you can do now inside ThriveCart. So hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm at Passion Breakthrough, and then we can touch base from there.